So, in this big race to adopt AI, are you building on a solid foundation or are you just building on sand? That is really the core question from part one of Chaim Newdell's book, Leading the AI Native Enterprise. And in the next few minutes, we're going to break down the strategic groundwork you absolutely need to truly lead with AI.
All right, let's just jump right in with a really crucial question for every leader out there. Are you just using AI or are you actually becoming AI native? Now, the difference isn't just a matter of words. It's about moving beyond these little one-off projects to fundamentally rewiring how your entire business operates.
And this quote from the book, man, it just captures the urgency perfectly. We have totally moved past the if we should do this, and we are squarely in the how. It's not a question of adoption anymore, it's a question of leadership.
You know, there's a kind of gold rush happening with AI right now. But here's the problem with any rush. If you don't have a clear map, you just end up with a lot of dead ends. This leads to something the book calls pilot fatigue. You know, a series of promising projects that just go nowhere, wasting time and money. Sound familiar?
So to avoid that fate, the book argues for a really fundamental mind shift. And it all starts by changing how we see technology's role in the business itself.
This right here is the core of that mind shift. For decades, so many businesses treated IT as just a cost center, a necessary expense to keep the lights on. The AI native approach, it flips that completely on its head. Technology becomes the engine for value, the thing that drives revenue, growth, and your competitive edge.
And listen, this isn't just some abstract theory. AI delivers real, tangible value across the whole business. It can boost revenue, seriously enhance the customer experience, sharpen your decision-making, and reduce risk. Every single one of these connects directly to the outcomes that actually matter to the bottom line.
But look, a new mindset isn't enough on its own. You need a blueprint, a clear, documented strategy that guides every single technology decision and investment you make.
And that blueprint, well, it starts with the absolute basics of any good business strategy. Your vision, that's the destination. Your mission is the whole purpose of the trip. And your goals, those are the milestones you need to hit along the way.
This is how it all connects in the real world. Every IT initiative, I don't care if it's AI, analytics, or a cloud migration, it must have a clear line of sight back to a core business priority and a measurable outcome. And if it doesn't, you have to seriously ask why you're even doing it. No exceptions.
So, this brings us to what is probably the biggest challenge for most organizations. How do you actually connect those high-level strategic goals to the day-to-day work? Well, the book offers a really powerful tool to build that bridge.
Let's be honest, this is the failure point for so many grand plans, right? A beautiful strategy deck just sits on a shelf while the teams on the ground are left wondering how their work actually matters. The solution here is a concept called the business capability. Just think of it as a stable, shared language that defines what your organization does, like customer relationship management, and it separates that from the who, which teams do it, or the how, which software they use. Why? Because those things are always changing.
So this framework is called capability-based planning. You start with your strategic goals, then you map out the core business capabilities you need to achieve them, you assess where you are today, you design the future you want, and then, only then, do you build technology roadmaps that are aligned to those specific capabilities. It creates this clear, logical path all the way from strategy to execution. So that's the foundation. Getting this stuff right, the mind shift, the blueprint, the strategic bridge, it's totally non-negotiable. It's what prepares you for everything that comes next.
Because once you have this solid foundation in place, you can finally start assembling the more tactical but just as essential building blocks
of the AI native enterprise. So in our next explainer on this book, we're going to dive straight into part 2, the building blocks. We'll get into enterprise architecture, governance, that critical data and AI layer, and all the modern infrastructure that powers it.
We'll leave you with this one question to think about. Just take a look at your own organization's AI efforts. Are they built on a solid strategic foundation, or are you just chasing the latest shiny object? Because honestly, the answer to that question makes all the difference.